kind of call you in. Okay. So I do a lot of shouting and yelling at the clinic. I would be here at the thing. I would already look at the history. So I'm looking at my history of Aaron on the computer. I'm putting in whatever I can fill in. You have to know Access perfectly, or it's going to slow you up. So I'm going to put as much information what I can into Access as I'm looking at the history. You can put the pain scale, you can put the frequency, you can put all those, but I'm also getting an idea of what I've got. Okay, I'm touching that history. So here's a patient, right iliac crest pain, no radiation. He's got stiffness, tightness through the upper area. He's got some suboccipital headaches. He's got some automobile accidents, nothing big, sports injury, a typical kind of patient. It's important, no radiation, so I don't really have to do a lot of neuro. I would call him back and I'm going to do my first one, the intro. You're going to see me try to do a couple things at the same time. I'm going to be typing in as I'm asking them some questions. Aaron, you can come on back. Aaron, nice to meet you. I'm Dr. Daniels. You can have a seat right over there. Before we start, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the joint, okay? My name is Dr. Daniels. I'm a medical chiropractor since the 1800s, Aaron, since the 1800s, okay? Welcome to the joint. We're open 7 days a week. Cool, 9 to 7. Saturday and Sunday, we're open 10 to 4. We're closed the weekend between 2 and 2:45. Cool deal? Cool deal. Once you fill out all the information out there, you're done. All you have to do is swipe in your key tag. All your information will come up. You might have to update it every couple of years, or if your history getting an accident or something that you might have to update it. Cool deal. Now you can go into any across the country. All you have to do is swipe in that key tag. Anything I do, I record in the town. Okay. You're getting treated in Colorado, California, Illinois, someplace else. I see what they did when you come back. Okay. Now, the other thing is, before we get started, I always say a little bit about what we do here at the joint. Okay. Mostly we see nerve, muscle, and joint problems. Now, I already looked at your history. You don't have any leg pain, you don't have any arm pain, you probably don't have a pinched nerve. Okay, but I'm going to check you for it anyway. If I find a pinched nerve, it's usually the worst. We take the longest to heal. We don't get them all better. Some of those need surgery. Remember, I don't think you have that one. I'm going to check you for it. Cool, cool. Next thing I'm going to look at is the muscles. There's two things I'm looking at. One is muscle spasm. And I describe that as a sudden contraction of the muscle, very painful, distorts your posture, how you're moving around. I can tell the way you were sitting in the waiting room, moving around here, sitting there. You probably don't have a spasm. I'm going to check you for that anyway. Other thing I'm going to check you for is a condition called myofasciitis. That's a big word for knots in the muscle. Very common. Who doesn't have some knots in the muscles? So those are common. I'm going to check you for those knots. How those knots come about is that muscle shortens over a longer period of time. The spasm is sudden. The myofasciitis shortens over a longer period of time, weeks, months, years, decades. You can have a tight muscle for a decade, comes together, forms those knots. I'm going to poke around for those knots. If and when I find those knots are generally painful, you're going to feel them. Okay, and I'm going to give you stretches for it. Cool? So I'm going to go over stretches here. I'm going to send you some videos. You're going to do those at home. How long do you think it's going to take to stretch out a muscle that's been tight for a couple of years to get it loose?
Probably a couple months.
Yeah, I didn't even quiz him on anything. Yeah, it's going to take a couple months really to kind of get it loose, and it's depending upon how frequent you are. I do stretches too. I'm not regular, but I keep myself going. Cool. Cool. The next thing, and here's why you're here. What we're going to do is we're going to look at your spine, your spinal joints. Okay, and here's why you're here. Because of old injuries, poor posture, poor working habits, genetics, or what I call life, some of the joints in your spine can start to get tight and stiff. So if these are two spinal joints and they should move like this, they now might get tight and stiff. They might move half that much. That's going to cause some pain into that area and some dysfunction. They could be totally stuck together, okay? Eventually, that will cause more problems, degeneration, arthritis, that's down the road, okay? But here's why you're here. We're going to look for those tight, stiff joints. Those are the ones we're going to pop, crack, manipulate, or adjust. Cool? Cool. What we're going to do is we're going to take that tight, stiff joint, give that pop, crack, and that's going to loosen it up. When we first start, and some of them will pop and crack, some of them won't. Don't worry about it. It's about mobilization. When we first start to do it, we're gonna stretch that tissue around it, and you can get a little bit sore right away, so you can actually get a little bit worse before you get better. About a third of the patients get a little bit sore, 2/3 don't. Cool deal?
Cool.
Now, it's gonna take us, most chiropractors, treat you, frequently, first couple of months, we do the same. Okay, we're gonna, put you on a series of treatments to loosen up that joint. Once we get the joint maximally loosened up with what we can, I'm gonna give you some strengthening exercises you can either do at home, we're gonna send you the videos, or you can do at the gym. Cool?
Cool.
Questions, comments, concerns?
None I can think of.
Okay, now, before we start, I'd like to get my area of pain, okay? So, most of the area of pain is down in here, right?
Right.
No leg pain, right?
None.
Okay, any injury on that?
Maybe just basketball.
I saw that was years ago, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but this hasn't been constant pain since then, right?
No.
Okay, this one started how long ago?
A couple months after a car accident.
Okay, so this one, don't say car accident, he messed that one up. Okay, we don't take car accidents. This one started after playing basketball.
Yeah.
Playing basketball, okay, do you remember what you were doing? No, I don't, you just got sore after the game. Okay, got sore after the game, but it's right here. Is it constant now?
Yes.
Constant, and I'm gonna look for some patterns. Is it better or worse sleeping? Better or worse with activity? Better or worse sitting? Sleeping, sitting, activity, better or worse?
It's better with activity, I guess.
Okay, what about sleeping? How are you in the morning? Better or worse?
Usually it's worse than more.
Worse in the morning, and then what about activity? Are you still playing basketball?
As much as I can try.
Are you worse? Is it loose enough or does it get worse?
Sometimes it gets worse.
Okay, give me a second, I'm gonna put that all in. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna put my history. Here's what I put in my history, you ready? No radiation. That's huge. Isn't it huge for our patient? If he's a radicular patient, it's a difference. No radiation, right iliac crest pain, worse in the morning, right?
Correct.
Okay, worse with activity. Okay, what about sitting? No difference, worse?
No different.
No difference. It's been there a couple months after the playing basketball. So, okay, now you also have some stuff up here. It's across both sides, right? And you've got some headaches here.
Right.
This has been going on for how long?
About the same time as,
Couple months. Does this come and go or is it constant?
concept.
Constant. And the headaches, how often you get the headaches?
Couple times a week.
Okay. No pain down the arm. Okay. Worse in the morning, worse with activity, worse on sitting. Any patterns to it, better or worse? I'd like to say better or worse. I don't want to lead them to a worse. Morning,
Morning is the worst.
sitting,
No real changes.
activity.
Usually worse.
Okay, so stiffness, tightness, I'm putting that in. Stiffness, tightness, cross, some suboccipital headaches 3 times a week, no arm pain, worse in the morning, worse with activity, sitting no different. Okay, before we begin, I want to make sure I got everything. All the pain down here is on the right, nothing on the left.
Correct.
Kind of hurt in basketball, but really was sore after, don't really know what we did.
Mhm.
Okay, no leg pain.
No.
Okay, couple months. Same thing here, it's a couple months, constant. Headaches 3 times a week, no arm pain. Both of them are worse in the morning. What position do you sleep in? Back, stomach, or side?
Back.
Okay, back. I'm gonna put that in too, boom, because that's another little hint. All right, you ready? Let's start the examination. Okay, I'm gonna look at the nerve, but remember, I don't think nerve. And by the way, I'm hardly have to do any nerve. Sit all the way back so the legs dangle over a little bit more. What kind of pillow do you use?
Large soft pillow.
That into the note, because I'm gonna go over cervical pillow with him, especially if he's on the back and he's worse in the morning. All of these reflexes are looking good. We figured this was gonna be good. Remember, I do not think you have a pinched nerve. We're always talking to the patient during the exam. You know why? First, I like to talk, don't I? Okay, but it gives them a warm fuzzy. Look, all that's normal. You saw them, they're all kind of kicking normal. We figured it's gonna be normal, no pinched nerve, took the worst one off the table. Cool, face down. All this, and the lower back's worse than the upper, right?
Yes.
Okay, scoot down just a little bit. Perfect. I'm gonna poke around, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna look for some of those knots. Ooh, is that tender?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you hear his voice? Ooh, is that tender? Yeah. Okay, you know it's tender. He's not faking it. And I told him not to fake anything. Everybody has knots, don't they? Find them. They're real easy to get. These are a problem. I'm stopping the exam. These are a problem. These are some of the knots. It's not the spasms. We're going to give you some stretches for this area. Cool? Cool. I'm not going to put you in, but you felt the knot under there too, right? Here it is. Can you feel it?
Yep.
That's a very common one. Feel it? Okay, so I'm just getting an idea. I don't have, oh, that's a bad one, huh? Who's your favorite car partner? Okay, I'm gonna go to both sides here because he's tight. I'm here. Here it's only on the right. That's the only side. I call him lighting him up with the myofascial. I want him to understand that these are problems. If you relieve the myofascial component, they're naturally gonna feel better, period. Does anybody disagree? No. Okay, these are problems. I'm gonna record sit up. Now, I have them sit up because I motion palpate them. You guys, the art, most doctors have keep them face down, right? So you would keep them face down. I don't. I just do my muscle, sit up facing that way. I'm gonna record. So I record in my muscle palpation, boom, boom, boom. Cool? I'm coming back. Those muscles are a problem. We're gonna go over some stretches later on. Give you a treatment plan. By the way, give me a piece of paper for a treatment plan. Now I'm gonna go over I'm gonna look at the joints of the spine. So I'm gonna start to spring the joints. I'm gonna look for those tight, stiff ones, okay? Ready? We go below on the lowest one in the back, it's tight. But you also got, this is called sacroiliac joint, a tightness through here, all on the right, just happens to be on the right. And that's one of the areas we're gonna adjust. I'm gonna look through the rest of your spine, okay? You obviously got this one. You feel that one right there, right? Okay, right here. Okay, so we're gonna hit that one. You got it. Yeah, you feel it right there, huh? Okay, and right there. Can you feel this one? So we're gonna loosen here, here, and here. It's tight. I'm gonna look at that neck when I have you face up. Cool deal. I'm gonna plug this in. Okay? I go in, I put my subluxations in, boom, boom, boom. Upper, and by the way, I'm usually always adjusting transitional areas. So you ready? Upper cervical, I'll probably put in, I'm gonna wait till I do him on the back, but I've got upper thoracic, I've got that T12 L1 junction, and then L5S1 right PSIS. So that's what I'm gonna adjust on today, kind of plug those in. Boom, I'm done. My exam is done for him. Okay, all right, you ready?
Yep.
Here's what we got. We didn't think you had a pinch nerve. We looked at the reflex, everything was normal there. This is not a pinch nerve, which is going off the table. Next thing I did, I poked around on those muscles. We found the knots on the right through here. Let me give you where's my treatment plan? Sorry. And I got my treatment. I do want to have my treatment plan in my hand. Okay, so I'm going to give you, here's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you 4 stretches into the lower back. Right here in 4 stretches in the neck. You're gonna end with cobra. Do you know what cobra is?
No.
Okay, so that's a yoga move. You're gonna end with that one, and you're gonna hold that one 1 minute. The other ones are about, I do a 10 to 20 second hold. Okay, do the best you can. I would like you to do them 2 to 4 times a day. Do you work out at all?
Yeah.
Okay, you're always gonna do them after the workout, because when muscles warmer, you'll get a better bang for the buck. Don't miss those, okay? So always after workout, okay? Okay, we're gonna set your schedule, okay, on how many visits, but I'm gonna see how you adjust or you manipulate or you move. Cool, and then I'm gonna set the schedule. Questions, comments? Okay,
Good.
so remember, what we're gonna do is all those areas of tightness that I found, we're gonna start to loosen them up. Some patients get sore. It's generally after we're done. It's not a lot during the adjustment. But you know, that's where 1/3 of the patients can get a little bit sore. And then I'm gonna go over the stretches and then we'll talk about the schedule. Cool? So lay in the back, face up. Man, I haven't adjusted you, and we're gonna pretend this is a first time adjustment for him, but I haven't adjusted you in probably years, huh? He just moved back, from the military. Scoot down. Perfect. He looks scared. I like him. Scared military guy, George. Okay, so you got that tightness, you kind of feel it right here. I'm gonna talk through the adjustment too. Okay, relax for me. Take a deep breath in. Out. Perfect, that is really easy. Let it go. There you go. Out. Do it again on this. Out. Got it? You okay?
Yep.
Deep breath. Out. Good. Perfect, not bad, huh? Little lighter, it's his first adjustment in a while, but everything moved nice, right? And the neck, here's what I always tell, hey, neck's the most scariest part, worst part, so it's way the right size, fix me. He's giggling in nervousness. I like the pace to be scared of that chiropractor. Perfect with the shoulder, you start to pay attention to this, Dr. Sun. Scoot down just a little bit for me. Let that shoulder down, head down. Scoot this a little bit towards me. Scoot it. Yeah, keep that shoulder there, perfect. Keep this leg right here. I'm gonna tug, no wiggle. I'm gonna tug, no wiggle. Keep that right there. Let it go. We got it now. Here. Move it. Keep it hooked, deep breath. Out. Another breath. Out. Nice. You okay? Deep breath. Out. Nice. One side. That lower one both moved. Lining the shoulder up, let that head down, I got you. Scoot the pelvis towards me. Oh, scoot. There you go, don't move. Keep this right here now, don't move, I got you. Don't you wiggle on me. Let it go. Scared to death. Deep breath. Out. Nice, huh? Deep breath. Out there, very easy. Good, face down. You're doing okay, right? Yep. Put that nose right there. I'm gonna give you a little tug, no wiggle. Remember this one and this one. So those two are the tight ones that we're gonna adjust. Deep breath. Empty. Nice. Deep breath. Empty. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Good. Deep breath. Out. Keep going. Nice. Deep breath. Out. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Got that one. Stretch it. You ready? Come up to your elbows and face me. Elbow here and a flat hand. Perfect. I'm gonna go over Cobra first. Remember, you're gonna end with Cobra. You're gonna hold that in 1 minute. Remember, you're gonna get it taped. So just pay attention. Cobra, it's a yoga move. You don't do yoga, do you, young man?
No,
You can keep the butt down. Don't move it right there. Keep those hands down, straighten out both elbows. Perfect. You're doing yoga. You're feeling that intense stretch right here. That's where I want to feel it. It's intense. Move the hand back about 4 inches. As you move back, the intensity increases and start to feel a little bit in here. And once you get into it good, you're going to hold the head all the way back. I want you to feel that intense stretch right here and the abdominal, and you're going to breathe into it 1 minute. Hang with that stretch. Cool. It's on the video. Turn over on back. Right side. I'm going to show them how to stretch on the right side. So remember all the knots down here. We're going to stretch that. Those glutes. So you're going to take your knee. You're pulling the knee towards the opposite shoulder. You can feel it in through here. If you go to the same shoulder, you don't feel it nearly as much, right? Put the head down, relax. So it's right there, 10 to 20 seconds. You're gonna keep that hand here, you're gonna grab that ankle, and you're really gonna crank. Woo-hoo, huh? Who's your favorite car
not you.
Another 10 to 20 seconds. I call this the angle of the leg you're gonna change it once and crank again with a little different fibers. Cool? So you've got 3 from there. Boom, 10 to 20. Boom, 10 to 20. Boom, 10 to 20. Okay, you can do both sides. Last stretch in the lower back, you're gonna do on a bench like this or the side of the bed. You're gonna throw the arm over. It's really a weight to keep that shoulder down, or you can hold on here, just hold on here. You're gonna keep that shoulder down, you're gonna rotate here, tuck under, rotate as much as you can, kick the leg over. Let the weight of the leg take it down, woo! So you get it through here. If you pull up, you're gonna lose it. Or if you just stick it out, you're gonna lose it. You gotta let that weight take it down. Does that make sense to get this? Cool deal? Sit up at the end. Neck, you ready?
Yep.
Let me show you on the right side, but you're gonna do both. Remember, you're gonna get a video.
Yep.
Listen, it's a really handsome dude on the video too, okay? Don't show your girlfriend. Okay, so you're gonna hold on here. That's gonna keep the shoulder down. A lot of the muscles are attached from the shoulder to the neck. Sit up straight on this one. If anything, don't hold the head forward. If anything, slightly back. This arm goes straight over to the side, okay? And we're here. So take me a blank piece of paper too. You can feel that stretch, right? You're gonna pop up. You go from 90 to 45. Does that make sense?
Yep.
You'll do 2 half turns, 1 half to the right, 1 half to the left. Half turn to the right, 45. Boom. Feel the difference? It 10 to 20, pops up. Half turn, just half turn the other way, also called the armpit test because it goes right, goes to the armpit, and you feel the difference, right?
Yep.
Last stretch, you're gonna stretch this muscle here. You're not gonna feel this great stretch, you're gonna feel a tension and you're gonna cramp up through here. So you're gonna turn the head about 70 degrees. I'm not pushing it straight back, it's at an angle here. You're gonna cramp up there, I don't care. Boom. Can you feel that little tension right here?
Yeah.
That's what I want you to feel. So remember, you're getting a video with everything, and we can always review. You're gonna want a couple of these to review. Cool? One other thing, you ready? Sleeping posture. You ready? I'm gonna draw a picture here. I'm not that bad, you got a bit of an artist. Here's what the neck looks like. Let me draw a picture. That's what kind of the neck looks like. When you have a thick, fluffy pillow, that neck curve goes down. Did you ever see the cervical pillows with the hump, the hole in the hump?
Yep.
Okay, the cervical pillow, it's got the hump that goes in here to support that curve. Does that make sense? And then the hole where the head. I like this as for back sleepers, especially if you're waking up in the morning. Amazon, dude. A pillow for 20 bucks. I think it's worth it. For the 20 bucks, I think you're gonna get a decent, it's worth a try. Does that make sense on it? And if there's a question, I can pull up Amazon and we can find a pillow you want. Cool deal? All right, you ready? Schedule. You can face me. Schedule, you ready?
Yep.
Okay. Remember, I'm an old chiropractor. Based on that examination, based on the adjustment, I generally recommend about 10 treatments for the first month. I'm gonna put you into that category. Okay, second month, I'm thinking anywhere from 4 to 8, really around 6. And then we'll get you into the maintenance program of 1 a week. Okay, but I'd like to do a little bit of loosening up before you get into it. And I think that's where you're gonna get the best results. Okay, so I'd like 3 times a week for the first couple of weeks. 2 times a week for the next 6 to 8 weeks after that, to kind of get you going. And by the way, if you respond a lot better, that's cool. Now, I always suggest the membership, okay? You're gonna get 4 visits for $79. That's gonna reoccur the next 30 days for another 4 visits, but you're probably gonna need about 6. Anytime you go over your 4 visits in a month, it's only $10. So I think there's a lot of benefit for $10. You sign up today, you get 3 free. So for the $79, you're gonna get 7, 4 for the membership and 3 free. That's the minimum you're gonna do first month. Even if you're feeling perfect after the first adjustment, get 7 in because it's about loosening up. and you pay for it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So get them all in and you lose the free ones after 30 days. Okay, now, is that something you expected and is that something you can do?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna start the stretches. We're gonna email you those stretches today, okay? You kind of break your visits up in the week. If you're really sore tomorrow, I want to see you. If you're doing pretty good, today's Thursday, you can wait till Saturday. I'm in here through Saturday. Cool, there's another doctor and he's not as good as me, he's okay. All right, but he's at the end of the week. You know, I have a lot of fun in here too. Remember, you're gonna start the stretches today, okay? Another thing, you ready? After you leave about 15 minutes, you're gonna get a text on how we did. Did we answer all your questions, everything?
Yes.
Perfect. So the text is good. It's real important to you, us that you answer the text. It's let us know how we did. We look at, it's a survey. So we look at all those surveys and how we do. And if we get a bad text, we absolutely go to it and we try to make changes. If you're gonna give a bad survey, just don't fill it out. Cool? Okay. The other thing that you're gonna get, and this is pretty cool, Corp's got this link thing for a free visit for any of your friends, family member, coworkers. So they're also gonna text you a link. The link allows you then to send that out to anybody you want for a free initial visit at our clinic. So the first visit, all they have to do is fill out their name, telephone number, email address, and don't yawn for God's sake, physical address. Okay, and then that information comes to our office and we'll give them a call. Okay, if they're closer to another clinic, we can help them with that, but you're gonna get the link in the survey, cool? And you're gonna get videos. And then I'll either see you tomorrow or Saturday. Questions? Come on up front, we'll get you going. So, and you do want, Adrian always tells me this, you do want to kind of take them to the front. I kind of always reiterate it. Hey, this is Aaron. He's gonna sign up with a membership. Let's give him the free visits. Send him the lower back stretches, send him the neck stretches. Remember, if you're sore tomorrow, we're going to come on in. I'm gonna give you a call tomorrow, answer the phone. Okay, remember, you're gonna get the survey and the link. Questions? Oh, they're taking care of it. How long? Half hour.
That's 7:58, so 48 minutes.
Military time. I like it, right? And I was talking a lot, but a lot of energy, right? And by the way, okay, questions, comments, concerns. Okay, chiropractic preview was for education, right? But what am I really stressing? Look at, as I did the chiropractic preview, he doesn't have a pinched nerve. And I think 97% of your patients won't have a pinched nerve, right? So there's another report of findings for the pinched nerve, which is actually even quicker and better, I think, because it's easier to explain it, okay? But the chiropractic preview, I'm gonna go over stuff that's irrelevant to him quickly, speech-wise. So I went over the nerve. We're gonna check you for that nerve. I don't think he had nerve. We're gonna check you, but I don't think you have it. So next thing, I'm gonna slow up around the myofasciitis because they all have it. And of course, I'm gonna talk a lot more about the joint. I saved the joint for the end. Does that make sense? Questions, comments? So the chiropractic preview is really important. I also set the energy and I set the mode. He's either gonna, I like to, listen, you're going to use your own talents, your own charisma or whatever it is in that history. So I'm just trying to set the energy, but I'm also getting, here's what we're gonna find the tight sit joints. We're gonna lose the ones we're gonna pop, crack, manipulate, or adjust. Some doctors don't like I use a pop, crack, manipulate, or adjust. By the third visit, all we're talking about is adjusting. So they get it. Cool. I don't do a range of motion. If I would have done a range of motion on Aaron, it wouldn't have told me anything. It's not going to tell me where to adjust. So here's what I tell people. I don't do a range of motion. Sometimes I do a range of motion if I think it's going to change what I do. I get their range of motion on my motion palpation. I get intersegmental range of motion. What does that tell me? Where to adjust. So I do motion palpation. I can sit there and I could do it and I can show them how much pain they're in and everything else as they do the range of motion, but I think it's not worth the time. I'm a strong doctor. Okay, so I think I can get the sale with the stuff that I need to tell them. I don't do a lot of other stuff. And I like to, a lot of other doctors, I like to show them that the loss of range of motion, I get it, if that works for you. Any other questions? I don't do a lot of orthopedic tests. Did I actually even need to do the neuro? Did I need to do the neuro? Yes or no? No. If you go into a medical doctor and you don't have any radiation, they're not gonna do a neuro. By the way, everybody knows I had my hip replaced, right? I had my hip replaced, blah, 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 blah. I went into orthopedic, 3 of them, okay, and they costed, the charge was $150. I'm serious, here's what they did. They got on the hip, and, yeah, you gotta have that replaced. Okay, and everybody goes, that's a shame, but they were right. They were right, you gotta replace it, I'm better. Okay? So they know, okay, when you know, you know, that's why the older doctors do a little less exam. Questions, comments, concerns, come on, one
Hey,
question.
Dr. Daniels, this is Adrian real quick. I just wanted to kind of reiterate that as you guys went through everything, some good points that he brought up with talking through the adjustment, because that's one thing a lot of our patients, when we get complaints, it's because they don't know what's happening in that moment. They don't understand. We stick to like, hey, how was your fishing this week? And how was that? I get it. We build those relationships. But as you're going through the primary new patient, they want to know step by step. Half of them are scared. They saw it on TikTok. Somebody wrapped a leather strap around their head and said, let's.
Yeah. No, yeah.
So it's important, that part. The second part I would tell you is you and your wellness coordinator, you guys have to mesh. And this is why we keep you guys on Sunday to Wednesday or Wednesday to Saturday, whatever shift we put you on. It's very important that you and that wellness coordinator understand the handoff. So what they do at the beginning, bring it back to you. What you do coming back around the corner is what's going to help your conversion rates when it comes to that plan. So we're just walking up there and shyly being like, oh yeah, by the way, here we go, just go ahead and put them on the wellness. And then we walk away. It doesn't do much for them with that patient. So the big thing is as you go up, hey there, George, here's what we got. Mr. Johnson's going to do this, but go ahead and talk to him about the wellness plan. I want to give him those 3 free visits. Okay. And then I'd like to see you back in here on Thursday if we can. So go ahead and get him set up with that. It's important for that wellness coordinator because you just put all the lead into it. So that conversation is now already halfway. They just have to close it. You go back, finish your notes, and then you go on to your next patient. We can get them to then come in on a specific day because you said it. Come back on Thursday. I'd like to see you again in 2 days on Friday. I'd like to see you back again on Saturday. Be very specific. They come in great, and it's up to us in the front, the wellness coordinators up front, on track with that. But handoff is big to your conversions, the new patient conversions. That's a big part of it. And then 2, giving a return date is big for our secondary comeback visit for them, and so that we can keep reiterating, here's what we've got. As you're talking to your wellness coordinator, them knowing what you as a doctor recommend as normal, regular maintenance is important. So if you feel 2 to 3 times a month is important, make sure they're aware of that. If you feel 1 to 2 times a month is important, make sure they're aware of that. As you get gelled together, it's easier for your lingo to come through the wellness coordinator. So as you guys are comfortable with it, that's when it starts to roll through. So I would just tell you that as you get past your part, talking through, and then 2, that handoff is a big part.
Let me talk a little bit about the art, because remember, I do things a little bit different. I don't examine chiropractically my patient face down. I kind of motion palpate up. Add in your art. We got operations. Our operations work. These basics work. Where is my add in on the art? I like my 3 questions. Are you better or worse sitting? Better or worse with activity? Better or worse when you're sleeping or first thing in the morning, and worse first sleeping in the morning? What position do you sleep in? On my back. I always look for that cervical pillow. I'm looking for that because I get results, especially if they're telling me, yeah, I always wake up stiff and tight. I literally had one woman, it was trying, his wife was trying to get him better, and she stuffed 2 big ones. So he was sleeping like this, and he would come in with a torticollis. If you know what I'm saying, that question picked it right up. And he was like, oh, Dad, I got you. Listen, that was life. So it's another. Okay, but you add in your little stuff. Does that make sense? It's okay for you to add in your little stuff. All right. Don't add in a whole bunch of stuff. You've got to be efficient. Don't add in something that doesn't add to either the experience or to the treatment. Okay, I don't think I would have picked up very much from Aaron if I would have done a range of motion. I don't think I'd have picked up much. And I don't think in me personally, I wouldn't have furthered my sales approach with them. I don't think I would actually increase the sales. Now, other doctors would, and I respect that. So if you're using it for that, I respect it. Any other questions, comments, concerns? I always like to dump a bunch of home therapies on him. By the way, if we're gonna giving him ice, I got an icing video I'm gonna send. I go over the ice. Aaron, do you have an ice pack? Yes or no? Okay, is it a gel pack?
Yes.
Okay, how big is it?
Uh,
Size of a piece of paper?
yeah.
Perfect, that's what I want. So come here. So you're gonna take that gel pack, you're gonna put a wet washcloth here because you can burn the skin with a gel pack. Place the gel pack in an ace bandage and wrap it around, okay? My personal instructions, but your own instructions, your time, your frequency is your own stuff. Look, on a disc, if he had a disc, I want him icing 4 to 5 times a day. He's not to sit when he's icing, he's not to, he's not to lay on his back, he can lay on his side, and he can stand up and move around. I got all that on my video because how many times do I do icing with the lower back? A lot. That's one you're gonna use over and over. Okay, get that stuff on a video to help you with efficiencies, but those videos are in it. Remember I said we send you a whole bunch of videos. Any other questions, comments, concerns? And by the way, I always try to keep the energy up. And I'm old. It's hard. Question in the audience.
Hey, Dr. Daniel.
Okay,
So I'm back here behind the camera.
you can come over here.
Oh, okay.
This is Dr. Sonny. He's a new doctor with us going to San Antonio.
Hey, April. Yeah. So I just had a quick question. It's about the pricing. So I'm new to the joint. And you said after $79, the initial visit, it's $10 every visit
So-
after that.
These guys all know that, yeah. So the membership is 4 visits for 79. If you come in more than the 4 visits,
Okay.
it's only $10.
And is that pricing available only if they decide that day or anytime?
No, they only get the 3 visits the first, that visit.
Oh.
And I hold them to that. I hold them to that. Okay, look, it's only the first visit. Take it. It's huge. It gets you your first month. Listen, as I do these plans, I have no problem with the price. Ours is by far the most affordable, reasonable in all of medicine, I think. I literally believe that. Okay, so there's no problem with the price back here in my mind when I give it. Generally, it's gonna be about the convenience to get in here. Generally, it's gonna be about the convenience coming in. We want your butt in here 3 times a week, and we really do want their butt in there 3 times a week, because that's the only way we're gonna get better. Now, in Chicago, I'll tell you this, because I'm not gonna go too much over 40, I'm not gonna go over 45 minutes, I get 4 minutes. In Chicago, we sent out 2 articles, and I might listen, I'm always looking to do this piece better. I might integrate those 2 articles into the treatment program. The article showed, it was Dr. Fish, you remember the article? It was on headaches and lower back pain, and they were trying to look at frequency of what was the best protocols for the frequency for the first month. And basically what they're coming up with is around 10 visits for the first month. Dr. Fish, right? Something like that?
Yep.
Okay, and by the way, so with something with like Aaron, now I might say, I'm always trying to make this process better. Now, Aaron, if Aaron said, wow, that's a lot of visits. Aaron, it is a lot of visits, but you're getting him this headaches 3 times a week. That's a problem. Okay, you're what, 34?
Yeah.
You're messing with him. Okay, it's too young to have those headaches. They're probably gonna get worse over time and more frequently. Okay, let's try to see if we can get this thing done. Here's an article. It's going to show you on the manipulation. It's going to take some time to loosen it up. This article suggests what we're recommending. It's 10 visits for the first month. I would have that article in my bag. Same thing in the lower back. This isn't just me saying it. Here's some people who researched it. They're saying 10 visits for the first month. And then the doctors have to look at that and say, okay. And by the way, old doctors always say, yeah, that's probably about right. So listen, I would use that. When would I use that? I would use that if my conversions are weak. My conversions are weak. I'm going to use that little piece of information. When I was a young chiropractor, there was a time when I was a young chiropractor. Seriously, this is before the internet. There's no internet. None. I would get all the books out. I sometimes would have 7 different articles and books around showing and improving here's what our therapy and why I think it's going to work. Nowadays, it's a lot easier. Okay, but articles could back your point up immensely. And I'll probably send those 2 articles out for everybody to look at. Questions, comments? 2 minutes.
Hey,
Just
Dr.
one-
Daniels, I'm sorry, Dr. Fish, go ahead.
Yeah, just one quick just comment I wanted to throw out there. The whole first patient visit is about setting the right expectations, which is key. And one thing I like to mention is that future visits are easier, quicker, and convenient, that they're going to be in and out in less than 10 minutes. Because if the new patient is
you.
if the new patient is in the clinic for 30 or more minutes on that first day, paperwork, visit, everything, I don't want them to expect to be there for 30 minutes every other visit. So I want them to look forward to a quick and easy visit. I don't want them to be bummed out because doc spent 30 minutes with me on the first visit and now he's only spending 8 minutes with me on the second visit. I want them to be excited and to understand why. So I throw that quick little bit in with every new patient.
I think that's huge. I think that's huge. Okay, and there's another thing you said, it's you set the tone for the experience, and that's the energy. If you come in, you're having a bad day and you're not relating to the patient, you're not talking through the examination, and you haven't really touched the patient, Aaron should know that I kind of know all his symptoms and about him. I know absolutely everything that I need to know about him. Okay, but if I'm in bad mood and I'm not saying anything, or I'm down there, it's gonna come across he's not gonna convert.
Hey, Dr. Fish,
Okay, they will
totally, that
convert-
was my
they will
question,
convert
Dr.
on
Fish.
Pure enthusiasm. People love enthusiasm. I always say it's the least business emotion talked about is enthusiasm. People will lunge to you if you're enthusiastic about what you want to do. Who wants to get adjusted by an enthusiastic chiropractor? He loves it. Who doesn't want to get by a guy that doesn't want to be there? Nobody. All right, it's 8:45. Any other questions on letting you go? Dr. Fish, anything else to say? Dr. Fish manages in Chicago.
All right, Dr. Daniels, real quick. Dr. Fish, you totally answered my question. That was perfect.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask Dr. Daniels that exact question, so the timing is important. One other thing that because we've looked at customer complaints or patient complaints when they come to Google or they come through the site, the other biggest complaint we get is the doctor didn't look at my chart, didn't mention anything off of my chart, didn't say anything about my notes. So super important as you're getting that person to pull back and you notice something, just make that comment to, okay, I saw last time you were here, it was da 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 da. Let's look at that. Are there any changes or what are you feeling? A lot of times what happens is we don't mention that. Patient doesn't see us go into it, so they do tend to get a little like, what's going on?
Okay, listen, that's a huge point. This is on all the patients. If I have a patient coming in through the door and I don't recognize that patient, okay, and you've got the patient say you adjusted 20 times, you don't have to go to the chart. You'll put your note in later. But if I don't know the patient, I've got to touch the chart. I told you about touching the chart. What am I doing? I'm going in, I'm seeing the last visit, I'm seeing what kind of symptoms they came in. I might have to see the last 2 or 3 symptom days. So then what do? Hi, Mrs. Jones. My name is Dr. Daniels. I see you came in 2 days ago. You had that pain right here, was it? They know, don't they? You looked at the chart. They know. Okay, how you doing? As opposed to, okay, how you doing? Yeah, I got this lower back pain. Okay, lay down. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, they know they didn't even touch the chart. I see you've got this and this. I'm going to remind them about some stuff. They know I've seen the chart. By the way, number one complaint, Adrian, I think that's the number one complaint. I came in there, they laid me down, they popped me, they didn't even look at me, they didn't say anything, and then I was done. All right, we're done. Don't do that. Bad doctor. Anything else? I'm done. Morning. Merry Christmas. We're gonna go over adjusting with you, right? Yeah. All right. Hey, doctor. Get a notepad. Okay, I'm gonna.
Bye.
Justin? They just adjusted him. Are you good with the doctor? Yeah,
Thank you, doctor.
you guys can go.
Thank
I'm going
you.
over adjusting with the new doctor here, but you guys can go. Hey, thanks, guys. I totally appreciate it too. Really appreciate it.
Thank you guys for joining this morning. Appreciate it.
Take a raise.
All right, George, I'm gonna stop. Done.
All right, cool.
I'm gonna take
See you
you out
later.
co-host.